Welcome back to The Eighth Son. Are you kidding me? Anime review, episode number 6. We are reviewing the 12th and final episode of the first season of the show. I say first season because there's no way you cannot do a season 2. Especially since you have a whopping total of basically 24 books. Because it's 12th and final episode of the season only adapts the first half of book 5. So it starts out with Wendolin, basically, going to talk to his brother, Kurt, and he has a flute. Basically, he's here with Brockhild, and he's got he thinks the flute of dragons, supposedly to summon dragons itself. I was partially right with this name. They actually, in the book, they call it Flute of Grudges. In the anime, they've heard of it as Flute of Malice. Excuse me. Where he basically plays this weapon he's told not to play because it's very terrible. He thinks he's a dragon, but nope. Ends up killing him. Yes, seriously. So, and he's about to explode, but luckily enough he's stopped by Wendell and Elsa, which is a common thing, which is the whole thing of them basically working together with basic using combined magic to stop. This actually is an image shown since like the very first episode of the season. And then they beat him. And by the way, this whole sequence takes us to the first 9 minutes of the episode. Yes, Kurt is defeated in the first 9 minutes. And then like right afterwards, okay, so he's been beaten. What happens next? Well, we deal with the aftermath. We do briefly see Kurt come back, and he basically goes after the financial minister's brother and his 12 conspirators, and as a grudge, he proceeds to kill them all. Yes. So, with him dead, and his children basically out of the line. Now, it's not stated here per se, but basically, now it's mentioned that Herman, who is Wendolin's second elder brother, the second son, he will take over as the new head, the new heir to the family. Now, Wendolin himself gets the lands, but gets partial. Now, it's mentioned in the book he gets the savage part of the lands, not the entirety of it. At least identified in the book. In the anime, they don't. So, apparently because of his actions with here, getting the lands, he is promoted to the title of Count, which is different from the book because he's promoted to Earl. And also, he requests, basically because we have 12 vacant titles, he requests to his house the right to name the people who get those titles. And they kind of argue back and forth about it with his future grandfather-in-law, his future uncle-in-law, and of course, the king just grants his request, no problem. Yep, so we're not taken care of. Now, it's mentioned that we do see various dinner party, some of celebration. We see Amelia, she's going off living with Paul. Well, in the book it's mentioned she goes off with Paul and basically, Wendolin's father and mother. They don't mention the fact that basically, now here's the strange thing though. Wendolin's father is actually not seen in the episode. Nope, he isn't. As a matter of fact, there was a scene from book 4 the anime did cut, and it was a scene where Wendolin's mother met his met his fiance, his two concubine candidates, and also I think he met Wilhelmina as well. I'm not sure why they cut this from the anime for. This would be a great scene. The scene itself was only just a few pages. You could easily have this take up at least about 1 or 2 minutes of screen time. I'm kind of surprised they cut this. Now, we do see Roderick, who habits where Amelia goes off, and of course Wendell does mention that the 2 titles he managed to keep, and basically he gets grants right to name people, give these titles. He decides to mention to Amelia that the titles, when they get older, will go to his 2 nephews, Kurt's sons. Kurt does bring up in the episode that he apparently didn't care about his own family, probably because of the influence. Now, I'm not sure if Gwendolyn ever told that to Amelia. The fact that her husband never cared about her or their own children. He's like, "Hi, I was so powerful. I can basically create a new son." I'm like, Curry's an idiot, and it shows. Now we do see that, well, in the book, basically, Gwendolyn does grant a title of governor to Roderick. Yes, Roderick becomes his governor. Basically, he works for him. Now, in the anime, they don't say what his title is, for some reason. Not sure why. We just see him basically as a land developer. Basically, in a way, the episode ends the way the anime first began, with the flash forward we see in the first episode of the season. We see all the girls are having the food and enjoy it, and that's the episode. Yes, I do gotta admit, for the last episode of the season, it was really good. Nothing bad about this at all. From what I can tell anyways, yeah. Now here's the thing. In the second half of the book, we're introduced to Katarina, a woman who will actually become one of Gwendolyn's fiancés. Now, I would have thought, though, they would have had a brief cameo for her, maybe to possibly tease her debut in the anime, but we didn't see that here. Nope. And I pray to God that the studio who makes the series does a season 2. And by the way, the season only aired 3 years ago, so there is nothing that states that we can't have a second season. Yes. And if you're curious, though, I have in fact read basically I read the 5th book prior to watching this episode. Now, I was kind of thinking that, oh no, are they going to adapt the whole book to one episode? No, they did not. And I'm like, thank God. Yeah, and by the way, as of this month, it'll basically be 3 years since the ending of the end. Now, here's the thing about the dub cast. I haven't mentioned as much before about the dub cast. Gwendolyn is voiced by Benjamin Deskin, who does a great job in the anime voicing him. Elsie, who is the Cardinal's granddaughter, is voiced by Reba Barr. Erwin is voiced by the late Billy Kimmitz. And sadly, I don't think he can actually voice him anymore because he passed away just last year. I would not be surprised, though, if we do a season 2, and once again, we have Stephen Fu basically took over for him, which he did for 2 anime. He did Rise of Hero and Welcome to Screamer Gun, so I would not be surprised. Now, Louise, who is the blue hair girl, she's voiced by Karma Lee. Ina is voiced by Erica Martinez, and Wilma is voiced by the awesome Veronica Taylor. Yes, and I should point out, though, Wilmia is basically a teenager. And if you're curious, though, Veronica Taylor is in her 50s. Yes, I have met this woman. And if you're curious how old she is currently, she is 57 years old. Which means when the series premiered, well, at least the dub anyways, she was probably 54 years old. Yep. Now, I don't have an issue with this because Veronica Taylor is a great voice actress. Yep. Alfred, we saw him in the first episode. He's voiced by Keiji Tong. Who is a Chinese voice actor. Interesting. Braddock Laston, who's basically with Gwendolyn throughout the whole series. He's voiced by Patrick Stultz. Yep. Kelmut Christoph von Armstrong, the musclehead. He is basically voiced by Matthew Rudd. Roderick is voiced by Xander Mobus. Yes, that is his name as voice actor. And he was in series like Naruto Shippuden, voiced the young Maruno Chia, Hunter x Hunter. He voiced Momoshiki Otsuki from Boruto. He was JoJo Bizarre Adventures Star Crusaders as Terrace T. Darby. Let's see. He was in Demon Slayer as Yappo. Matsuosa Kaminaru from the Rise of Hero. He was definitely in Jujutsu Kaisen as Toga Imiki and Ayo Taro. Yashi Princess Hatim as a character named Kika. And currently he's in Bleach Styles of Blood War, voicing at least about 3 characters in that series: Blitzbee, Quagikapi, and Tussagon. Oh yeah, he's also in the 2020 version of Demon Adventure. Oh, he was also in Some Aspire So as Hugo Bennett von Ritzik. Yep. Now, the only character who appears in the anime is Amelia, but they don't have a credit for her English dub actor. The Cardinal, no credit for his dub actor either. Artemis von Bretcher, he's basically, well, the one who kind of works for. The other characters who do not have a credit, who does not appear in the anime, I'm hoping she does. Who do I think of voice her? Based on her personality from the action book itself, could I see Britt Knickerbocker voicing her? It is possible she could do it, but it all depends on what Crunchyroll wants to do. I'm hoping to get this one. Now, let's see. Kurt is voiced by Chris Heckley. Arthur, who is, of course, Wyndland's father, is voiced by Kyle McCarley. Yes. Overall, the dub cast is actually really good. Now, in the case stuff was cut, yes, basically some of the stuff they cut was unfortunate, but doesn't ruin the story at all. No. Despite the fact, yes, this series is roughly to have 4.5 books in 12 episodes, it does a really good job. It doesn't rush anything per se. Not necessarily. Nothing is really rushed here per se, just the show is really good. Do I think that we get a second season for this? Yes. Because we only have halfway through book 5, so I'm praying to God we actually have another season, because basically there's a lot more material to cover, and I do mean a lot more material to cover. But hey, at least they have a good ending to it. Yep, so final thoughts? Good anime. So, yes, so this anime is done for now, until whenever we get another season for one. So, what is next anime I'm going to do? Martial, Magic and Muscles. But first, basically, before that, I got a couple more anime to do, which one, of course, is going to be Demon Slayer. The other, of course, will be case. But before I do that, I'm going to quickly do a comic history of the Women. I have a pretty good idea what I want to do or not. You'll find who it is soon. Okay, next video. Bye.